Welcome back. Let's continue learning about maps. Actually, in the last video, we created an empty map and then edit elements to it by using the set method. Remember that here there is another actual way of populating a new map, that is without having to use the set method. And then now let us see. Write const. I'm giving the question as variable and then that is equal const. This question is equal give new map, and this map I am giving here an array. So in every map we have the first value as the key and the second position is going to be value. So let's do that. For that I am giving here the first one as question and then I am giving that what is the best programming language So here this is basically the first entry of the question map. So here before we would have used the set method and then this as the first argument and this as the second. Now we can simply specify a disarray of arrays in this like this. Alright. I want to specify the options here for the answer. Basically I'm giving here the number first one, that is C. And then the next second one that I am giving Java, and then the third one JavaScript. Let's give here that third one JavaScript, and then we need a key for the correct answer. So for that write correct. I'm giving the 3. And then we also have like a success message and also an error message. So for that use the boolean keys. So let's write here if it is true then write correct. And then also if it is false then write try again. Now let's log this into console.log. Question. Now let's see the result. Reload. See here it displayed all of our entries. When we keep adding new elements like this programmatically using the code, then of course the set method is still the way to go. Now here the structure, so this array of arrays, these arrays look kind of similar for us because this is exactly the same array structure that is returned from calling object dot entries, right? Console.log object dot entries and then give opening hours. Now let's see the result. See here we have array of arrays, that is the first element is the key and then the second is the value. So here what this means that there is an easy way to convert from objects to maps. So this is further just try convert object to maps, and then next write here const hours map that is equal new map of object dot entries and then opening hours. Because the structure that results from object dot entries is exactly same as this. So an array of arrays, and then write console.log hours map. And then reload here. Let's see the result. See here we have a map. So whenever you need a map, when you already have an object, just write like this. And then next talk about iteration. Iteration is possible on maps because as we already know, maps are also iterables, and so for the for loop is also available for them. So let's use a for loop. Time for stop question. Then here I am using the key and the value. Here for key I'm giving key and then value. So to just reiterate, this is exactly the same as the before one when we overlooped over the object. The only difference is that for the object we needed object dot entries right here, and that's just because the object is not an alterable. But then the object is an alterable using object dot entries. Now here we only want to display that the key is a number. So let's write here if type of key strictly equal number, and then let's log into the console.log answer using backcodes answer key and then value. Now let's see the result here. We have this answer 1C, answer 2 Java, and then answer 3 JavaScript. Now let's use the get method to display the question. Sys quiz. Let's write console.log question.get and then write question. Now let's see the result. Here we get that what is the best programming language in the world, and we have the question also. Now we have here question and the options. What we have here is to get the answer from the user. So for that use a prompt. Let's write that const answer is equal prompt, and then write here your answer. And then we need to say that the user should be in number way. So further try number Now let's log this into console.log, and then give the answer. Now let's see the result. See here, I'm giving number 3. Okay. And now here we got the number 3 as the answer. And now we get the correct answer, and then we have to display this correct or try again message. So for that, let's write console.log question dot get. Again write question dot get. Then give here this correct one. If it is equal 3, then display this correct, or else try again. So write correct. Then this is strictly equal answer. When it is equal with answer, then display correct, or else try again. Let's see the result. I'm giving 3. Now let's refresh. 3. See here we get the correct message if it is true. And then now here I am giving the 2. We got the try again message. So with this we have completed the nice little quiz. And now let's keep a note that sometimes we also need to convert a map back to an array. So basically to this structure we can do that like this. So let's write here convert map to array console.log, and then here I am again using the unpacking, that is using the spread operator, and then give the question. Now let's see the result. Just give here 3. See here we have an array of arrays, that what we have here in this map. So this is the converting of map to array. Now I want to place this in comments, and then I am giving that const answer. That is, I am giving a number string. And now let's write here console.log, then question dot giving entries, and also keys, paste it here again. And also I am giving changing here keys, and then this one to values. Now here we have this iterator here. We have to spread them in a new array. So like this. And now let's see that use here the spread operator. This is not that much of important, but just take a look. Just place this in comments. Let's see the result. So these are all the keys, and these are the values that we have here. So this is all about the maps that what we have here. What we have to remember is when we should use maps and when we should use objects, because they are similar. We will continue in the next lecture. Thank you.